What's happening? Tim with Nomad Trading. Should I hold overnight? That's the question you're probably asking yourself if you're watching this video. The short answer, spoiler alert, is no. Not if you can help it. If you can help holding overnight, then don't hold overnight, unless that's your strategy. If your strategy is to be a swing trader or an investor, that's totally different. Then you're going to hold overnight because you're going to hold for longer periods of time. But as a day trader, should you hold overnight? The answer is not if you can avoid it. Too many things can go wrong. Too many things can change. News can come out after hours or while you're unable to get out of the position overnight. The market can tank and be in the dumps in the morning, depending on which way futures go and how all that plays out. You can get bad news for the overall market. Next thing you know, your stock is drugged down with it, because we know 3 out of 4 stocks roughly follow the market. So there's just so many things. It's kind of like rolling the dice. But there are things that you can look at that will kind of put the odds in your favor a little bit. So let's jump over into the computer. I did hold a stock overnight last night, SNDL, Sundial. I do not do it very often. It's very rare, but I did hold a small position last night overnight. So let's jump over and look at that. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, if you like this, if this helps you in any way or you can relate to it, hit the like, drop a comment, let me know if you hold overnight or not. If you prefer CMEG or another broker over holding overnight, which one you like better. What do you think the best option is? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, notifications on, all that stuff. Helps YouTube algorithm push my videos. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Okay, so here we are in my computer. We're looking at SNDL. I held SNDL overnight last night. I don't do this very often, but it made me $135 on a small position on the gap up. The plan was, with this bullish pennant, bull flag, whatever you want to call it, you got your pull, then the pattern continues into after hours. So the idea was sell on the gap up as soon as pre-market opens in the morning to sell, which actually worked great, other than the fact that I couldn't get logged into E-Trade because the platform was glitching. Anyway, so when we're talking about holding overnight, we have a checklist that we need to go through, a mental checklist of what would be the best probability to gap up the next day. Because ultimately, there is no guarantee. 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. If the market tanks overnight, if your stock has bad news, there's tons of things that can affect it that you can't foresee. So all you can do is predict with the probabilities and your checklist of the most likely stocks to gap up. So that checklist would be, first of all, the very first thing you want is a big green day on the daily chart. So you're going to go to, and we're looking at yesterday. This is today. This is yesterday. So yesterday we'd be looking at, we want a big green candle on the daily chart. That's, check. That's what we got on SNDL. Big green candle. Second thing we want would be volume, big volume. As you can see right here, very huge volume, and this was the main thing. The reason I decided to hold overnight was the volume. It traded over 2 billion shares yesterday, which is absolutely insane. So that was my main reason for holding it, the thing that pushed me over the edge, where normally I would get out of a position after hours because I don't want to hold overnight. There has been times, I've talked about it in other videos, where, for instance, one time I held overnight and woke up to over $9,000 loss. Anyway, so big green candle, first green day. You don't really want third or fourth huge green day, because then it might be starting to get a little bit toppy or overbought. So ideally, first big green day, big green volume down here. It's just huge volume. And then you're going to look at resistance next. You don't want it to be coming up on a bunch of resistance. Now, this one was not ideal as far as resistance, because on this 100-day chart, each one of these days candles is a day if you're new to trading, and this is 100 days. You can see that on the time frame up here. So 100 days. This is not ideal because there was what could have been resistance here, but as far as this area here and this area here, could have been resistance. But when you're talking about 2 billion shares, that's kind of out the window when over here we're only trading 1 million shares. Because what is resistance? Ultimately, it's a place where people are going to be looking to get out and short sellers are going to be looking to get in because they see that that's where the opportunity is going to be. And you're not going to see that as much here. You're not going to see a bunch of bag holders that are going to keep the stock price down because they've been stuck in it from over here, because over here it was only trading around 1 million shares, less than 1 million shares a day. Even on these days here where it had a little bit bigger jumps, still only trading at this point 32 million, and this day 60 million, which is quite a bit of volume, but not compared to 2 billion shares. It's nothing compared to that. So you're not worried about a ton of bag holders. You're not worried about shorts thinking that, hey, that's an area we're going to pile on. It's not so much resistance. Again, here you have the 50 moving average that the stock kind of reacted to. Over here, we were already well above the 50, well above the 200. So everything was looking good. These are all check marks for the hold overnight. Then you also want news. You want a good catalyst. This one was up on hype of the possible legalization of marijuana. There's going to be some vote on Wednesday, and yesterday was Monday. So it was up on the hype of that vote, basically. If it got legalized, the stock would see a big benefit from that. So up on that hype, the cannabis hype. So you got the catalyst, you got the first big green day, you got tons of volume, and you don't have any real nearby resistance because there's not a ton of volume in the areas where there would be resistance. So then you're going to look at your time frame that's a little bit more zoomed in, and you're going to want to see a stock that doesn't pull back big into close or into the aftermarket's close. So as I'm looking at the overall pattern here, and these are just some quick trend lines I drew in here just to kind of show you what I was seeing. It looks like a flag, a bullish flag, and it looks like consolidation. So it held up pretty well. It was down here in the 40s. It went all the way up to, let's see, the high was around 86 cents. So then it was consolidating and holding pretty good in that 75-cent range. I felt pretty good about that. If it could hold that and then all the way through after hours, I thought there's a pretty good chance with all that volume that in the morning we're going to get some more, at least a gap up and fade. That was my anticipation, was a gap and fade, and that's what it did. It worked out pretty well. All you can do is roll with the probabilities, and if you're going to hold overnight, that's the checklist you want to be looking at. Hopefully this helps. If it does in any way, hit the like. Let me know in the comments if you prefer offshore brokers and a little bit more fees like CMEG, or if you prefer holding overnight and you're American broker with no commissions, or if you prefer just paper trading as you learn, or taking small trades in an American broker and just doing it under PDT. Just let me know what you prefer. I'm always interested to see what you guys think, and then make more videos around that. So anyway, thanks for watching. God bless. If you made it this far, first of all, I just want to say I love you. You must have liked the video, so make sure you give me that thumbs up, subscribe, notifications on, of course, and then click on one of my videos to the side. If the YouTube algorithm is doing its job, there should be one over there. If not, just go to my page and check it out. Thanks for watching. Peace.